Welcome r/Nuclearrevenge. Chocolate yogurt, a pickled bitch, getting sledged and more nuclear shame. Story 1. Cousin eats shit, revenge. One day, Op's cousin visited his house to hang out. Apparently, they were best sodding friends. Next thing, Op is drinking juice till his cousin squeezes the bottle, spilling it. This makes Op very mad. And so what did he do next? He wished his cousin's wife would give birth to a millipede and spend the rest of his days slaving away to buy shoes for it. Wait, scratch that. He didn't wish for it. He said that he literal wanted to wish it. So he didn't even commit to his own thoughts. Instead, Op laughs off the situation while feeling furious inside. He knew at some point that he would get him some revenge. Because that's what friends do. So dinner time rolls around, and they are eating sirimi sticks with Bomber's honey sauce. Yum. Op stated that it was good ASFNGL. After dinner, his cousin asked for dessert, specifically chocolate yogurt with orange zest. Seeing this as an opportunity for revenge, Op decided to prepare the yogurt for his cousin. Wait, you have to prepare yogurt? Oh yeah, that's right. He shitted in a cup, put cinnamon and orange zest on top, and fed it to his cousin, who somehow didn't know he ate shit that night. Op then included a TLDR, or rather a too long didn't read that shit for this story. Well, unfortunately I had to read that shit. But luckily I didn't have to eat it like his cousin. Conclusion. Geez, this is like the Florida man of revenge stories. My man's over here making poop cocktails with orange zest. Tell you what, just don't forget the ice next time. Oh, and by the way, if a turd counts as yogurt, then what does diarrhea count as? Pudding? What should we call this story? I shit you not, I made you eat shit? Perhaps sirimi and shit? Or maybe squeeze my juice, I squeeze your yogurt? Wait, I got it. Bad intent with excrement. Story 2. Karen took my dog, so I hired a dark web assassin. So before Op tells the story, he explains that Karen, and that he loves kids. Okay, now moving on to the story. So Opera calls this story as one of his most real moments. Yes, with 2 monkey emojis. Anyways, he was sitting at home when the phone rang. He answered it, and it was Kay, who told him that dog kill. This made Op utterly mortified, and so he flipped a switch and turned her into a pickle with the power of a dark web assassin named Rick. His TLDR was that it was the funniest shit he's ever seen, and that banning his account would be racist cause he's blocked. Conclusion. Op has been banned, and it was the funniest shit I have ever seen. And now I'm racist towards block people. Story 3. Entitled Bitch Forces Me to Let Her Enter SCP-3008. A letter, TL, Doctor at the end. Op starts off by introducing himself as a guard for the SCP Foundation, particularly for SCP-3008. He explains how one day he was driving to work when some entitled lady follows him to the base, and once there she demands he let her in so she can see SCP-3008. He obviously refused, but it was too late. Out of nowhere this lady instantly drugs him, making him dizzy as she walks her way into the base to go find SCP-3008. That's it. Conclusion. Who the fuck wants to break into Ike? This is a whole new level of entitled bitchery. This ain't Karen. No, this is something more. This is Sharon. She desperately wanted to be a Class D guinea pig, but only ended up being a pig. Story 4. I kinda castrated my brother. Actual post. Pardon my English, I'm a Brazilian. So my older brother, 26, always been a loser and descanted on me, 21. I never really care about it, but for the last 3 years I'm dealing with depression, which changed my life for the best in some ways, including not taking shit anymore. So I already jumped on him for calling me fat. I've gained 33 pounds and disrespecting me. He started mocking my small cock, and the asshole has a bigger dick than I will not let it pass. So I grabbed a sledgehammer, hit him in the jaw, so he be stunned, then broken all his front teeth and nose, then hammered his thin dick about 5x. Now he can't get a full erection. My mother is fighting to not let him call the police. She is aware he deserves it. My father always wanna fuck with me, but this time he is scared of me. BTW, we live together. It's going to be a thrilling quarantine. Conclusion. Sorry for making you read that, but holy dicks and assholes does this story blow. Honestly, its own existence speaks for itself. Well, barely, cause you can hardly understand it. Just look at it. I mean, this is not what people stuck in quarantine meant when they said to get hammered. Also, notice the smiley emoticon after the word erection. Who puts an open mouth at the end of a sentence explaining their brother's erection? And just how less of an erection are we talking about here? Well, let's try to figure it out. Perhaps smashing it about 5x means he flat-ended, making it 5 times wider. Now take his dick length times 5 and divide it by the weight of the Sledged, move the decimal the way he moved his jawline, and you got yourself a deleted story and a banned user for posting what sounds like an incestuous violent porn story from the dark web. Story 5. Gonna burn my housemate stick off with tiger balm. Op talks about his suspicions of his friend using his fleshlight multiple times without asking. Even worse, without cleaning it afterward. This was due to him finding pubic hair on his bed and his toy. So Op decides to be a dick and put on some cum gloves. He then smears an inconspicuous healthy amount of tiger balm in it. Then he set up a hidden camera in his room and waited. Turns out nothing happened, so he threw his dick sleeve away and went back to using his hands. Conclusion. How dare you post a story about your pubic hair, dried cum and medicated skin rubbing gel medley, meat sleeving apparatus. Stop using fleshlights and go see the light. Not just because of your heinous story, but because you said you wanted to catch him in the act with a camera and then post the video here. Story 6. What goes around comes around. Op starts off by telling us that this story is based off of him, an entitled douche and his game. This story takes place when Op is 7 years old. Something about a high school girl named Nicole who entitled douche for Ed is short. Then Op talks about some bully demanding a blowjob from Op in exchange for not being bullied. Then something about making the bully's life hell by failing a test. I don't know. This story is impossible to follow. See for yourself. Actual post. The story is based off of me entitled douche and my game. So it was a long time ago. When I was around 7 I had a high schooler who Nicole entitled douche for Eddie's short so me and my passy talking and he was yo quick side context and he's been bullying me for a while. But I'm just gonna get to the chase because people leave. So he was like, yo, if you give me a BJ I'll stop making fun of you. And I don't know what that was, I was young. So I said no. Because I'm dumb I'd be dumb if said yes. So he left after that day, tatty in ruins, and I became a psychopath because everyone hated me and that in the past, but that's not the point. So my possible, like, you know what, I need to get a revenge. So we did. A person made his life a living hell. So I have some of my friends have good parents made him think his grades, also my friends' parents and teachers in high school that he had classes with him think that he was completely failed each time he got a test back. It was an app, but in the grade book it was an 8. That means but each time he. Conclusion. I'm calling this story Once Upon a Stroke. I don't even know where each sentence starts and ends. All I got from this was a 7-year-old kid, a high school bully wanting a BJ, and failing a test. I'm so lost right now that I need a GPS to fix this literary dumpster fire. If pooping out of your mouth was a thing, this is the very embodiment of it. And that's without Pepto relief. Should I report Op for committing terrorism against my eyeballs? I don't know what to know anymore. You know, I need a drink after this one. Final conclusion. Well, there you have it. A brand new family of Reddit degenerates and their shitposts. Honestly, I'd rather read the graffiti found on bathroom walls and porta johns. But during this pandemic we need to be sanitary, so let me start by social distancing these stories from this subreddit. I've already put this place on lockdown once before. We don't need that again. And please, do not intentionally send us bad stories for these reports. You may be banned. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you would like to see more, feel free to subscribe.